Well, that sucked. It's got to be. I wish that they were better fit here. It's like, here we go. It's going to happen again. I'm playing around with the premium here, and I want to be able to show the background and play music at the same time. Maybe I can. There needs to be a way here to have the cam not be on, but there could be music. Where we find trials and our future seems so dim. Our God stands with arms wide open, asking you to let Him in. When love pictures growing cloudy and your visions growing, just keep resting in His promise. You'll move far from where you've been. Let His love remain. Even though you may you can't stand when you're alone. With your enemies coming home, His heart is to embrace you, and His eyes can see your face. When you meet, you'll be rejoicing, and of tears there'll be no trace. Stretching far into the evening, looking for a place called home. You are watching, Him approaching. You'll be joined again. Let His love remain. Even though you may feel you can't stand when you're alone. With dreams coming home, let His love remain. I guess I can take this banner off now. All right. I got the upgraded version of StreamYard. Got some plans here. But it's going to take me some time to maybe get graphics together, because you can put up overlays and it's kind of neat stuff. The only overlay, and you could decide to have your own branding, like right up here I could pop up a picture and I can hide it. This one is cool, which is the law office, but you can barely see it, so I'll have to work that out. It's neat. Overlays, the way they work, and you can design a graphic, I guess, as long as it's a GIF. I say GIF, not GIF. Something like this is the only one that's built in. Might be really cool, like Sister Sunshine did, like to have something all the way around, maybe for a special segment, something like that. But I suspect that what's going to happen here is it's going to be a variety show kind of thing, and I'm going to have to plan it. And for those few of you, as I try and build this channel, which is I think what I'm going to do, to talk about my various interests, and there are many, from God to technology to politics to current events to music to baseball cards to baseball itself to sports to the Lakers. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot that I like to talk about, and that's the goal here. And so I decided to put a little bit of investment to light a fire for me to get the ball rolling on this, and that's the goal. It's Sam. Hey Sam, how you doing? But I'm intrigued by the process here that's going on with StreamYard and what they're doing, and it's in the infancy of what they're doing. So I anticipate they're going to have a lot of cooler things, and maybe because it's the infancy of it, StreamYard You know, they do their own live stuff. I just noticed. All's good with me. Hope the same with you, Sam. I just noticed that even they on a live, they get 80 people, but 80 people's nothing for the only outlet for us YouTubers who no longer have Hangout. This is the thing. And so this is serendipity for them. This is an example of, you know, I would say as a God believer that this is how God works for people, to bless people and to bless good ideas, that it just so happens. There's no way that the guys at StreamYard decided after Google announced that they were going to remove the Hangouts, and they said, you know what we're going to do now? We're gonna start programming something. I think they've been working on this for a while, and it might have been during the period of time where Google says we're getting rid of our Hangouts, and then these guys were like, cha-ching. And I only wish that I had the programming capabilities they have, and like I said, I think this is just the beginning. And I'm very interested to see how this goes. I'm very interested to participate maybe in helping them. And the first thing that I would do is I think there should be a way for a StreamYard user to open up just sound, for instance, instead of graphics, because I kind of liked having a little picture my wife took of the moon. I popped that in, and I would have loved to have been able just to have a soundtrack going, let's say some of my music or something, and then go into whatever chat that I want to do. Now, you can do that, I think, with StreamYard, because it allows you to, with the overlays, I think it was the overlay or the background, you could put in a video, they said. I don't know if that's true, and I will be experimenting with that. So we'll see how that goes. Sam, if you wanted to come in, I could put in a link. Have you joined up when they have a hang? Have you talked with them? Because I discovered their hang just the other night. They had a special on their premium. That's why I jumped in and I got it, because by doing that, I have a lifetime ability, according to them, of being able to multi-stream on multi-platforms, because I did it by I think it was the Sunday night deadline. So no matter what they do, I can, or let me see if I can find, oh, okay. Forget, this isn't Hangouts. So now, like, because the intriguing thing too is, like, whatever I decide to do here, or even on another channel, I can incorporate all the channels. I can multi-stream. I can multi-stream to Facebook at the same time. And you can even, they just added the ability to record a video separately, so that I suppose it will be on their site. You probably could download it and then be able to upload it wherever you want later. It's kind of interesting. So, hey Sam, how you doing?
Hey Rob, how are you?
I'm good. Let me see if I can.
So I guess you're playing around with StreamYard.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So you said that one is it? You've been following their channel?
Oh, I think it's just I think that one of them is atheist and the other developer is a Christian, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. I think. Yeah, I like them. It's really easy to use. I mean that's all it counts, right? And they provide free stuff that covers pretty much a lot. I mean, I still use their free version because I can't afford one. But yeah,
No,
really,
it's not that expensive. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, it's money that I don't need to waste spending either. But the only way that I'm gonna light a fire to do this particular project idea, because my idea is on a lot of different levels to advertise the various things that I do and to get the word out. And the only, one way to do that being is, I mean, this is super cheap to buy a year's worth of StreamYard and stream stuff to advertise the various things that I do is tons cheaper than other methods. So it's
Oh
just
yeah,
a matter.
yeah,
It's a matter of building an audience. So we'll
yeah.
see how
I'm
that.
sure. But for
We'll
guys
see how-
like me, but for guys like me, you got to count every penny.
Yeah, no, me too. It wasn't particularly in my budget, but it's like I said, I'm the type of guy that and even still, I mean, I hope that I will end up just spending a lot of time on this particular
Right.
stuff to build it, to get an idea, because I bought I invested in a photo software too that I didn't have one. It used to be that there was a great photo software. The best one I ever had, I downloaded like 15 years ago, maybe even longer, called Photo Impact, and they don't do it anymore. There's Corel. Hi, Sister Sunshine. I'll bring you in a sec. There's Corel now, and they have the programs a lot cheaper than Photoshop. So I'm hoping to do the kind of stuff that Sister Sunshine has done with her channel. Hi, are you in, Sister Sunshine?
Look at that
How are
cute
you?
one. I like that cute smile.
Hello.
Sister
Hello.
Sunshine, awesome. So I'm just testing this. I went premium like you.
Yay.
How
I
much
can't-
is it anyway? How much you paying a month? I mean, a year. go by year,
I
right?
just paid by month. I just buy it a month at a time.
Oh, okay.
I did the annual one discounted, and I did the professional one just because it's the only way I think if it hurt a little bit that I would try and actually work hard to do something good. Famous last words. A year will go, and then I'll go, oh darn, I should have done something, and now I got to renew. Hopefully that won't happen. But so it was just over. But this, again, I told you, Sam, that I did this because by doing the annual fee, I get lifetime multi-streaming. They said, did you see that, Sister Sunshine? They had some special offer on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I saw it, but I'm not a multi-streamer. You know what I mean? I don't really do much. Like I don't do Twitch or, you know what I mean? So for me, I was like, I'll never use it.
But I have
Yeah, me
Facebook friends. A lot of them are, let's say, people I deal with in Little League, for instance. So I've coached Little League teams, and then I've had people come back to me and say at the Little League field and go, even though they're my Facebook friend and stuff, and they go, I didn't know you were a lawyer. I just had an auto accident like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, geez, what are you talking about? I coached your kid for like a whole year, and you knew sometime. So those kind of things happen, and then it makes me go like, I think I have a lot of those people on my Facebook that occasionally maybe I make a little video on there and say, hey, I do some legal stuff, and then that's another way that I can bring in business. But I can't believe that
First time I
somebody,
sue somebody, you're on my speed dial.
sweet, let's do it. No, let's not. Nobody. I don't want to sue anybody online. No more enemies online.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, lawsuit is such overrated.
Well, I mean, it is especially when it comes to online stuff and online threats. It's very,
Yeah.
very overrated.
Yeah.
Because in the end, with this stuff, I think I've told you before, Sam, or you overheard me when I was talking about it, that especially when you just. But the problem with it is that people take advantage of this theory. But the theory is that when you sue somebody, you want to make sure it costs a lot of money to sue. So you want to have the ability to recoup on the money that you have to advance. So if let's say that Von Helton, for instance, not, no defamation of Von Helton, but just give me an answer.
I'm totally home free.
Well, yeah, I know Von Helton lives in like, based on what I've seen, he doesn't appear to have a lot of money. So I don't need to know the details, just like, but the idea is he probably didn't have a lot, but let's say he defamed me or something and I sue him. What am I, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
And
you get a percentage of his poverty.
Yeah. You're gonna waste your money, and you're gonna give him chance to rebuttal.
Yeah, but you see, and that's the problem with the legal system too. It's the problem with, that's why a lot of people do free reign stuff here, and there's not a lot that can be done about it, unfortunately. But
now, unless it's like pure, like downright harassing, bullying, stalking. I mean, harassment totally to the for years after years. I can understand.
Well, the thing that gets me, it was like something like with the person did with your kid, putting like the potato on their head or
Yeah.
something and face.
No, not
Those
potato,
kind of things-
penis.
Was it? It wasn't an actual. It was a penis-shaped potato.
Well, I
and
mean, I don't care whether they, I don't care whether he put a plastic dildo. You know,
Yeah.
just because the material is different doesn't mean it's not penis. So, you know,
yeah, but that's the kind
and
of
it's
thing. where you
minor.
go,
Sister Sunshine, and that was mine, and she's still minor.
Yeah, no, that stuff is when that stuff happens, and then people can be anonymous, and then it's very sad the way justice works there, because you have to go through a whole rigmarole to spend the money to subpoena, to first file a lawsuit, then to subpoena Google for information. Then the only information they're really going to give you is a fake name probably and an IP address.
And he's in England, especially.
Right. So, well, I don't think the guy in England did that.
No, a guy in England did that.
Unless
And,
Mike JB, is he British?
no, Mike JV is not the creator. He's
I
uploader.
thought he was the creator of that stuff. I'm pretty sure he was.
No, he's an uploader. And in fact, last time I heard that he's working with other guy who is in that, and litigation. So I'm not, when I say that guy, I'm talking about good guy, not bad guy.
Yeah, well,
So
I think I know what you're talking
we'll see
about.
that.
I actually, I've had some discussions with him, and I don't think he's that sinister. I mean, I know that he's had issues.
Mike, he's not sinister. I mean, he also told me straight up that he didn't create. And the reason why he uploaded such image is because he thought that I'm the one who did some kind of video or picture with him and Potato. I don't remember exactly what kind of image that was, because I never created it. I know who did, but he thought that that's what I did, and then he had to retaliate in evil way, but totally in wrong way, totally wrong person, and then that's how that was revealed. That was, came to light.
Well, I hope. I mean, I'm glad that sort of went away. Right? I haven't seen. I didn't even. I never saw the picture. That question. I only heard about it, so that was a good thing.
Well, I mean, I reported to police. I mean, the proper authorities here.
Was it YouTube, or or the police, or who did you talk to?
To the police, obviously. And
what did they do much?
Well, they said no, they can't. They will investigate, and they'll pass on the information to England. But whatever other things they can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this medium, is that there's so much. It's hard to get past the anonymity of some of it. So it's a shame.
Sucks.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But one way or the other, I hope it will be taken care. If it is not by me, by someone else, the truth will reveal and prevail. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, I just got a text from my pastor. We've had these issues. We have this one guy. He's a cameraman. He did camera work on Desperate Housewives and stuff, and a lot of different things. And it's always nice to have a member of church that can, like, a jack of all trades. And we've had this problem. There's a hall, and we do junior high school worship or junior high school, like, Bible study every other Wednesday, like the first and third Wednesday, in this hall that didn't have electricity that worked properly for the lights. So with my old eyes, I have to, and I'm with these kids trying to read and stuff, and I have to turn the flashlight on my phone to be able to read stuff. It's ridiculous. And the picture is the guy just fixed the lights in our hall. So that's good news. All right, very good. So yeah, I wasn't going to stay on too long, but it's good. I like having a nice conversation with you, Sam.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's about time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
We cannot go on forever fighting.
All right.
Well, it's boring and it's old.
Yeah, and also, like, this is how I see it. And also, there's a little proverb in Korea. The ground gets harder after rain. Not during the rain, but after rain, the ground gets harder. And it's like paved road, and you can walk with no problem on it. So when we fight, that's just for the ground to get hardened. so that we can actually communicate better. Even, you know,
Mm.
we gotta let it out first. Because if
Maybe
you
if there's
boggle,
ever an issue, I hope that if there's ever an issue in the future, that I will with you try and take it private. I'm not going to be perfect, but that's what I'll try and do.
oh yeah, whether privately or directly, however you want. But you know, if neither one doesn't is not happening, but then I see there's no point of communication, I guess. You
Well, the
know?
conviction that I'm getting, like when I watch the stuff and when I hear people start talking about other people and like mentioning names and stuff, that it
You get swept. Yeah.
I start to feel sick. So that's
Yeah.
the conviction that God is giving. I wish He would do that with some of the lusts that I get sometimes, but for
Well,
now, it's.
I mean, you gotta ask, right? Whatever you need, you gotta ask.
Oh yeah, sure. But the only that what's come to me now is at least for the time being. I don't know if the flesh is going to take over, but I feel sick,
Yeah.
and I can't stay in rooms for too long that are talking about people in a bad way and trying to hurt people. It's not fun.
noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, just lately. We'll see how long that goes. But I also feel like tangibly in my older age, I can tangibly feel blood pressure. I don't know if you
Yeah, exactly. You know what, Rob? You're getting there because, I mean, Bible is so true. If, for example,
Well,
you did something wrong.
Well, it first happened to me about 2 years ago. And I was in my office, and it was a somewhat stressful day, but I didn't think particularly stressful, but I was on right in a row. For some reason, I was pounding coffee. I was on I think it was about 1 PM. I was on my 4th cup of coffee in about 3.5 hours. And all of a sudden, I felt my shoulders and I felt this thing. I was on my mouse and I felt like I couldn't lift my arm. Now they diagnosed me, like I went to the
So you better go to the doctor.
Well, I did. I went to an emergency room. The ambulance came and they said everything's okay. Just your blood pressure is really high. And they said we could take you in, but it's going to cost money, or you could go in on your own. And so I called my brother. He took me to the hospital. They kept me overnight. They diagnosed me, and I think it was a misdiagnosis, but they diagnosed me with mini stroke. And I think what it really was, because I didn't have stroke symptoms. They did a CT of my brain and an MRI, and they didn't see any evidence of stroke. I think it was just like my body, the blood pressure was so high, and I wasn't used to it, that like I would have been able to move my arm, but the fact that it was just like I felt so irritable that I kind of couldn't. I don't know. It was a weird thing. Maybe it was a mini stroke. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called a transient ischemic attack. And it doesn't leave any mark on your brain because you didn't actually hemorrhage or occlude. There wasn't a occluded vessel or anything. So you likely did. You probably had such high blood pressure, that you shorted yourself out, but that's definitely a big warning sign that you got to get your blood
pressure too, actually. A lot of stress.
Yeah, you got to get your blood pressure under control because multiple TIAs can do one of two things. It can either give you, start you down the road to dementia, because every time it happens, you do have brain cells that die, or it's just setting you up for the big stroke that's going to get you.
Well, I'm on blood pressure medication for that now, and I just need to incorporate exercise. Hopefully that'll happen soon. But it was scary. And the thing is, like, since then, like, I recognized, well, here's what I think a lot of it was, because when I felt so weird, that weird feeling then turned into worry, and then it turned into a massive panic attack.
Yeah.
So it was like I was scared. And so in that was like, I couldn't breathe, and you have all the symptoms of heart attack and all those things, but the EKG, everything was good. So it was a combination of all those things that, but now when I start to feel that, and usually it'll happen in my shoulders. It's like the stress tension in my shoulders, and then it feels like a flu almost. And flu, and then I just know my blood pressure sky high, and it's no good.
I pray that all that will be lifted up, Rob, soon. Very soon.
Thank you. Well, no, it has been, especially with the medication, but it's it was untreated, and it was a part of it all is like, when I volunteered for a lot of different things, and it's horrible to say, but one of the times that I went to the hospital for what was blood pressure was after a Little League baseball game.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy, bro.
Well, I stopped coaching, but I'm telling you right now, I miss it. Like, I assistant coached last season, and I hated it because the coach was just making bad decisions. When you do the youth stuff, and the coach obviously loved, and I was the same with my kid, but my kid performed. Like, AJ really performed when I put him into situations. But this coach, his kid, who was a very good player, he just would leave his kid in too long. You want his kid to be a hero. And so I found that I was having the same stresses, if not worse, when I wasn't in control, and I just had to sit on the bench and watch him make the moves. I was like, oh. So those things are supposed to be fun. They shouldn't cause stress, but that was all a part of it. So I had work, and I had lack of health because I wasn't exercising. I've gone back to that, unfortunately. And then it was, you add in like added recreational high blood pressure is really what that was. Like, voluntary, let me do something that's going to cause me a lot of extra stress, kind of like YouTube fighting. Not good. That's why it's not good for us. That's the other thing. It's not good for our health.
Mostly YouTube fighting.
Well, that's why I say, like, I watch my friend Bruce. We talk about, and he's at the same time, he has to have the high blood pressure like I do, and then he's smoking, and I'm like,
he smokes, and he's got diabetes
and drink.
And I hope,
yeah,
I hope he's watching.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to, I want him to live. I enjoy him, and I consider him a friend, and this stuff can't be good. So you add this with the cigarettes, then that's just not good.
No.
So, but I digress.
You got to learn to draw the line. You're not just like teenager anymore.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're muted. I see your mouth moving, unless you're talking to your husband, Sister Sunshine. Yeah, I think she's talking to her husband on the phone.
Like she's
Got
on the
it.
phone.
All right, you look like she was talking.
So when did this happen?
Well, when they came to my office, it was probably 3 years ago.
This happened 3 years ago. Wow.
I think it was January, or pretty close. I think it was January of 2017. And the other stress is, it was just a period. It was an interesting period of time because I had I don't know if you noticed. I don't think you can see it that well now, but if it was a close up, I have a scar here now that I didn't have before because I had what's called a Mohs surgery. I know Sister Sunshine's familiar with that. Do you know what a Mohs surgery is?
I don't know. Maybe getting remove something. I don't know.
No. They found I don't know what it stands for. Sister Sunshine might know, but it was, they found I got this thing that was like, it was a bump, and then it got like
basal cell carcinoma is what you had, my friend.
Yeah. And then it got hard, and I'm like, oh, dude, this isn't normal. So I go in and I check with the dermatologist. The dermatologist says, yeah, you've got something here. We'll do a biopsy. And they go, oh, that's cancer. I go, oh, okay. And so this is the same time. So that could have contributed to the high blood pressure too. So at the same time, I'm coaching. And when this happened, this was the night before we were going to have the draft for the team. So, when I had when the blood pressure thing happened, I ended up in the hospital. But the Mohs surgery happened about 2 weeks before that. So I think that in the back of my mind, although I was pretty calm about it because they got everything they said, so that was good. But it was the idea that I had cancer. They say it in the face. So you're like, well, that's kind of funky. But a lot of people get it.
Yeah, it's really common.
I'm glad I didn't get it because I remember one of my coaches when I played soccer when I was a kid, he got it right on the tip of his nose. And he ultimately needed reconstructive surgery because they had to like take off the tip of his nose. And so he walked around with a Band-Aid over his nose for months. And at least it was just like this. So what they do is they cut a circle. They take like a whole circle It's the only surgery I've ever had. So now I can say I've had a surgery. And it wasn't that big of a deal because I didn't feel anything. And I just felt him like cutting crap. But they do a circle, I
They
guess.
take like a little tiny slice and they check each one until they get to where they have clear margins.
Yeah, exactly. He took a nice chunk. So when they get that circle, then they just close it. And so I had like a Frankenstein thing there. And I, you know, I could say I was in a gang fight or something. But
well, let's pretend it's a pimple.
Well, no, it's off. That's what I thought it was at first. I'm like, well, first it seemed like a pimple, and then I'm like, no, now it's getting hard. So you got to watch that stuff.
Yep, I go to the dermatologist every year. I make my husband go every year.
Yeah, you have to. I have a lot of moles, on my back too, so it's definitely.
Well, I grew up up
like
in the mountains.
Time bombs,
and then living down here in SoCal. It's you know what I mean, just sun my whole life. So.
Well, fortunately, my wife, because she grew up in certain cultures. You might know, Sam, where they don't like the sun. So my wife, she didn't like the sun, so we don't do sun stuff. Fortunately, it's probably saved my life, maybe, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's funny because my wife's not as bad as my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, we went in 2006. We did the Mediterranean cruise and it was cool because it was the time that I first came to faith, and Mediterranean cruise does a lot of the stuff that Paul did and when he was traveling. So we went to Corinth and Athens and all this cool stuff. But while we were there, we were at the Bema, somewhere in Greece. There was a Bema, or like a throne, where Paul was, and I think it might have been one of the Acts speeches where he was defending himself in front of a judge, and we were at the site, right? And I'm like, this is incredible. Marie, my wife said, this is incredible. This is before AJ. Where's your mom? I don't know. I mean, this is like biblical history alive. Where is she? I don't know. We look. She's like 200 yards away in the shade with an umbrella. Because she did. I'm like, this is the Bema. No, she's just. And Marie, let her do what she's gonna do. Okay. Well, that's how much she doesn't like the sun. So, like I said, it probably saved my life.
Yeah.
So, hey, David, how are you?
Yeah, I've definitely tried to stay out of the sun the last few years because I get dark really fast. Being mixed race, I mean, just an hour or two, and I'll start to tan. But it's not good for you. I have a lot of sun damage on my face now from years and years of, never wearing sunscreen or just getting tan, and never thinking about it. Yeah. So now I'm seeing it on my face now.
I don't have it on obviously wrinkles and stuff happen on face and then cancer, but where I have old man spots is on my ankles.
Really? That's a weird spot.
It's embarrassing, man. Like a bunch of just brown, freckly, old man thing. And I just go, what the hell's happening to me? Getting old.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to get them on my hands a little bit, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Not there, fortunately. I've always had like little moles, but right. And the other thing is, because this happened to my dad too, is I don't know if it's because I generally wear pants, but like the hair on my legs is falling off.
Yeah, so like everybody. Yeah, when they get old.
Don't say that. No, when they age a little bit. But then that exposes the old man freckles things that are happening, and it's like, so I'll sit there watching from the stands, watching AJ play or whatever, and maybe I'm wearing shorts, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Like, dang,
getting old sucks, man. Getting old sucks.
It went by fast. I know, Sam. I think you're in your early 50s. I just hit 50. Sister Sunshine just hit whatever.
Yeah,
I'm the 50s.
Yeah, I just turned
53 or something.
My wife's there.
We're all 50s. Cool.
My wife's there. She looks like she's 25. She looks like the day I married her.
Well, you know what? That's how Asian women are. Oh. And then one morning you're going to wake up and she's going to go from 20 to 90. That's how it
No,
Oh
goes.
man, that's not true.
it is.
Girls don't like that.
my mother-in-law,
Aw.
my mother-in-law just turned like 77, 78. She's gorgeous. She really is. She's a very beautiful woman. So I have hope. Except I think my wife got her dad's skin. My father-in-law, not gorgeous. So, but that's all right. He's beautiful on the inside. My wife is currently beautiful on the outside and inside. She'll still be beautiful to me if she looks 90 tomorrow, which I don't think will happen just yet. But so
Yeah.
David says,
I don't know.
Israel,
I
that's cool.
find that the aging process accelerates though. That's what sucks. You know, you hold steady, but I've noticed like the last year or so, once now that I'm in my 50s, things seems like it's falling apart faster and faster, no matter what you do.
I have a young kid, and I know Sam, you have young kids too, so maybe that'll keep us young a little bit longer. I'm hoping because all your kids are out of the house now. Sister Sunshine, I think.
Oh yeah, my youngest son is still around. He's in college. He goes to Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton. But yeah, my other two are already married and doing their own thing out there. You know, the only one that's not married yet is the youngest.
David says, I was talking to my wife, his wife, last night about how he wants to go to Israel, and she said I would be in too much awe. And she said, I bet you would cry. And I said, I probably would walking in certain places. And on that note, and this is really cool, I'm going to be going to Israel for the first time in April.
Oh, how fun!
Really? Wow.
Take a lot of pictures and make a lot of videos to put up when you get back, because I really want to go, but
well,
Make sure you do YouTube, man, over at Israel.
Oh, no, I will, but it's just for both of you because you're in California. My pastor is leading it, and he's got a thing where it's set, you know, where you could sign up, and I forget how much it costs. I think it's under $4,000, I think, or somewhere around there. But I mean, this is like, I think it's 8 days or 9 days, and it covers every single thing, I think, including food and definitely the travel and all accommodations and the guided tours of everything.
that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm very, very excited about it. I got a discounted rate because I'm going to be leading worship through the process. So I'll be working, but that's not working to me. So it's like if I can go to Israel.
Are you going April next year?
Yeah, if you wanted to go, it'd be fun. We could fight the whole time.
No, that there are there'll be a lot of things going on by then. So watch out. Yeah, just watch out.
I would want to go, but nobody else would want to go. So that's the thing. You know, I'd have to go by myself, and that would kind of suck.
Do you have a girlfriend or something at church if I want to go?
No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm a very social person, but you know, when you get to, as a woman, when you get older, especially once you're children, you know, you're like an empty nester. It's very hard to make female friends. I don't know.
Well, if you find, I mean, I'll probably, one of the things I'll do, and I'll make a note as maybe in the next video I do, or maybe I'll do a video with my pastor where he talks about it. And we'll see this, I'm just on the fly with Dana, and talk about it and see if people want to start saving and stuff, because it's still almost half a year away.
Yeah.
David said he got it priced out for $7,000 for a week for me and my wife, but I got to save. Yeah, I'll try and I'm sure I'll do videos. But and it's going to be, there's a part of me that's scared, like sort of what Thickshade said, is that I think that's what you're alluding to, that it's kind of dangerous there, or it will be in April, you think?
Oh, yeah, there'll be a lot of things going on, especially starting from the winter. There'll be a lot of things going on.
Yeah, we'll see. But my pastor's been there already, and so he's led a tour once before, and I know people that go there twice a year, and they haven't had any issues. So I just have to trust in God. If it's my time to go because somebody puts a bomb on a bus, then I guess that's the way I'm going to go. Well,
you guys all have you'll have chartered buses anyway, though. You know, it's going to be a charter situation, and it's only going to be your luggage, and you know, you're not going to be on the public transport or anything. I mean, the worst you'll have to deal with is sometimes the Palestinians throw rocks at the chartered buses, but you know, that's about it.
Well, that doesn't sound good. But I think we'll have guys with AKs on the bus, probably, right? maybe a couple military people.
Probably not on your charter bus, no, but I
Well,
mean,
maybe-
certainly they have the IDF, the IDF and everybody's cruising around, so, I mean, they have a presence there. I've heard, a few times people like that went to Bethlehem because that's in the Palestinian territory. That might be, that was a little less than optimal, I guess, so that was like, they got to see Bethlehem, but that was a little sketchy, they said,
I think we're going to do that. I think there's one day where it's going to be sketchy, where we go into Palestinian territory. So we'll.
Yeah. Just hide your nose. Hide your nose.
I would do, no, you're right. No, because that's the thing is, but I mean, I'll be fine. I'll be singing Christian music. No one will know unless they ask or they do see the nose. I'll wear the red clown nose.
There you go.
Maybe I get around with that. Okay. We'll see how.
You should be fine. I think it's the people that are just there individually because they're you don't want to definitely don't hitchhike. The public transport can be dicey, standing at the bus stops and stuff because, just like here, right? I mean, in theory, somebody could do a lone wolf attack or whatever, but you're going to probably be staying at decent hotels and, it's not like you're going to be out there on your own running around.
Yeah, no, it's all like you said. It's a chartered tour. It's led by my pastor, sponsored by a particular group or something. So I think, and they do it every year, probably a couple times. I think it's going to be mostly safe.
Oh, it'll be pretty routine.
But
It'll
it would be ridiculous for me because of the scale. There's a risk for me to say no. That would be stupid. So
I'll just, what I would do though, if I was you, I would invest in travel insurance just in case all that stuff from Turkey and Syria. And since Netanyahu has now not been able to form a government. And so it's going to not the Likud party, but the blue and white, I think is, so you never know. Get travel insurance. That way you get reimbursed that if anything does kick off and you can't go, that, they'll cover you for your airfare and all that.
Mm-hmm. I would say this is going to change the subject a little bit for David because he said he would go to the places and he would cry. And I think that's going to happen. But I'm thinking back, I was a new believer when I went for the first time to Greece and Corinth and all those things. And what prevents you from getting too in awe of everything is the fact that there's so much selling that went on. And there's like all these plate gift shops and all like the commercialization of it. I think you get annoyed by the commercialization that you may be like, I mean, there will be moments where I'll be at the steps of the temple or whatever and go, wow, Jesus walked these and maybe taught on these steps. Maybe I think you go to the place where he healed the blind man too, by the
Bethesda.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you're just going to go, and in fact, there's what my pastor might be doing. I don't know how you feel about this in terms of sort of a rebaptism, but I think they're going to be doing baptisms in the River Jordan, which would be kind of cool.
Mud puddle.
Yeah. I mean, even with the leeches or whatever's in there, just don't drink the water. I don't do it when I go to Mexico. I won't do it if I get rebaptized in the Jordan River. Think about how often that would be. Awesome. I mean, that's crazy.
That would be cool. Yeah. And so you can come back and you can be like, yeah, look, I got a piece of the real cross and this is a leg bone from some saint, all the stuff that they sell you, right?
Yeah. See, that's where it gets a little sketchy. So David says he wants to walk the path through the valley of the shadow of death. I know my pastor did that the last time he went, so I'm sure we're going to be around there. See the monument Absalom built. King David is his second favorite person in the Bible. Next
Are you guys going to go to Masada?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find the schedule. Well, I'll talk about it and I'll see what the schedule is and look for that in case you're interested. So just keep it in the back of your head. If for some reason you befriend a gal, you could be roommates with somebody at your church or something, you bring it up. It's just 7 days. Even if you end up hating the person by the third day, I think all of the events would be so amazing you wouldn't care,
Right.
So
yeah, I've always thought that would be neat to go there and just see the Middle East, because my husband was in the Navy for how many years, so he hates everything about the Middle East, having spent too much time there, but then again, Asia too, You know, the last time I went to Japan, I was like, "Are you sure you don't want to go?" He's like, I'm all Asia'd out. I've seen enough of Asia." You know, so like he
Well,
that's
literally
right.
never wants to go anywhere because he's been everywhere, so he could care.
See, I haven't. So I've never been. I want to go to Korea. I want to go to Japan, and I've never even been to the Philippines. I'm ashamed to say, having been
I
I went
married.
to Philippines a few times, like for
Really?
scuba diving when I
The
was young.
Philippines
Yeah.
sucks, dude. You're not missing anything.
Well, I mean, look, it's my
No,
family.
it's they have beautiful island. You know, if you go onto like little islands, it's like
Yeah,
little hideaway.
it depends where in the Philippines.
Yeah, the thing with that is, we have to see family. My wife's family is northern Philippines, place called Ilocos, and it's a province, and there's probably not hot water, and they tell me that doesn't matter because it's so hot. But for me, I'm like, I don't know. And then flushing toilets, I kind of like those things. Black brownout they have, So I'm a lot of our time, if we go there, is going to be spent. And they're going to hate me. That's the thing I fear too, is like, they're going to be like, oh, look at this prima donna American guy that Marie married.
Well, no, they'll love you because you have to bring like 6 or 7 suitcases full of crap, right? To give the family. You know that's how you roll, right? You
have to, like, when my mother-in-law goes, she has to pay for everything, right?
Yeah, and you have to bring so many gifts. You have to bring clothes and shoes and
you
like
see why I haven't gone?
everything.
Yeah, I've been married to her for 25 years. We have not gone to the Philippines because this is my whole thing.
freaking Japanese. They're spreading wrong costume, man. It's too much gift around. Omiyage, too much,
Right?
man.
Yeah, but I love
a girlfriend of mine is from the Philippines, and I remember her because her husband served with my husband, and he couldn't figure out because all this money, she kept going through all this money, and he couldn't figure it out. She was sending, this is back in the day, boxes of canned goods because her family had a little stall. And so she was sending groceries like canned goods and stuff, boxing them up and sending them through the mail to her family.
Balik Bayan, that's what they call it. Whenever we get clothes that AJ can't fit into anymore, and our own clothes,
That's an idea.
That's what it is. That's what they do. They put everything in a box. We give all our stuff to my in-laws, and they just box everything and balik bayan that all to the way to the Philippines. And so we'll see pictures on Facebook and go, oh yeah, that's I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, your wife is probably supporting 85 family members. That's why you have to work extra hours, right? So that's part of your obligation. If you marry an American, you're supporting family, period.
That's the thing, too. Could you imagine how her family would be? Because they're our friends on Facebook, obviously. And they'll be like, wow. Like, if we decided to take a trip to Japan and Korea, and I go, they're in Japan and Korea, and they're not coming to see us in the Philippines.
Right.
Do it.
Serious. That's a serious diss right there. If you're anywhere in that part of the world, if you enter into that hemisphere, you are supposed to stop. Guam, why are you not here? Korea, why are you not here? Right? Japan, well, it's just 2 hours by plane. Why didn't you come
Yeah, it's
here?
right there.
That's why if we won't, if we do go and do that instead of the Philippines, we won't be posting anything on Facebook then.
There you go. Well,
But
you know
one thing, if you go to Korea, you're gonna love it there. They have proper toilet, they have warm water and everything, so it'll be good.
yeah,
Well, that's right.
the water's clean. Just like Japan, you can drink the water. It does. It's not,
no crime, stuff like that.
No, I know. The Korea, as far as I can tell, like, I'm watching their dramas. I've talked about this before. They're like 1950s America without they don't have a lot of black people there, but without the like racism. At least that I can tell. They don't appear to be very racist.
Oh, there's a little racism in Asia.
Is there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's discrimination, of course,
Yeah.
anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can imagine that your average Korean household, if they have a daughter and brings home a black boyfriend, that probably wouldn't go over very well there.
No. Well, like in Japan.
You know what the thing is that nowadays, a lot of that has changed. A lot of that have changed. So, I think that for me, Korea has been too secularized, too much becoming like the world. So,
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
well,
whatever.
like the West, it's very Western, and their sensibilities, the things they do. That's what I say with the dramas. That's why I like them, because there's a Western vibe to them, but it's more of a pure Western vibe.
Well,
Yeah,
they have different issues there. I mean, because the American military has been there forever now, but like they're very, especially in the big city. The whole thing with the plastic surgery. There's that kind of stuff that goes on. And
right.
like when I lived in Japan, there was some families where they've been in Japan for multiple generations. They speak Japanese or whatever, but they're not considered Japanese because they were originally from Korea. So it's they're stuck in the bottom of the society, even though like they've never even been to Korea, but they're
that sort of things.
Korean.
Yeah, that's more prevalent. I think no, actually not prevalent. It's like only in Japan, right?
Yeah,
That kind of discrimination.
yeah. The Japanese
Only in
are
Japan,
very.
yeah.
They're still. I mean, in the big cities, it's not bad, but they're a little xenophobic. Especially when you get out there in the way out there,
Right.
or outside of the main cities. It's like when we lived there. One of our buddies went somewhere, and this little old lady walked up to him and spit in his face.
Wow.
See, one of the
And she
things
was
that
from World War II, man, and she still held a grudge. And one time I was in the store, and a little kid saw me and got scared and went running to his mom. Gaijin, So it depends where you are. Like if you're in Tokyo, it's not bad, but if you're other places, it's
When the kid said "Gaijin," did you walk around like a zombie going "Gaijin"?
right. No,
One of
I'm
the-
so
one of the
short.
reasons
I
why-
like blend right in.
One of the
Wow.
reasons why the Japanese economy is tanking right now is because their population is decreasing, yet they're so reluctant to change their immigration law, and that you are not getting much foreign workers anymore. And that's one of the reasons why their economy is kind of tanking. And also, like
It's like
there's a
impossible
little-
to get citizenship
Yeah.
there. It's like,
there's a little difficulty between Korea and Japan as usual, but it's like even worse right now with trade wars and stuff like that. And because Korean guys are not visiting Japan, like in a rural area, their economy is just totally tanking right now. All the rural
some
areas.
places, if each family only has one kid and they all go to like Tokyo, you know what I mean, for work. So a lot of the little villages are empty. There's like empty houses. It's like, you'll see a lot of that. When I was there this last time, there was a lot of empty villages.
So
That's
this Abe economics and this trade war is really hurting Japan right now. I don't know. In the near very future, we might be able to see, yen becoming, not one of those, the currencies, just because they're printing too much money.
Yeah. And they save a lot of money, but the younger generation there is just not having children. They're
And
not.
also the problem also is that, what the Japanese government is doing behind their back, people don't know about, and until it gets really worse. And that's one of the reasons why Jim Rogers was saying to get a gun if you're in Japan, because things get worse. When things get worse, people find out about what their government is doing, they're gonna riot. That's how bad it is right now in Japan.
Yeah, the economy is really bad there.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was nice for me because the dollar was strong, but
Every company and every product they might manufacture, they've been all outran by Korean. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's really interesting how history turns around.
Well, it sounds to me like rather than die in Israel when I go there, maybe I'll end up dying in Japan or Korea when I see that.
Why would you want to die, man?
I don't want to die anywhere, but it sounds like I can't go anywhere. I can't even go out.
No, Japan is great. Japan,
fire.
you know what? I love Japan. I would go every 6 months if I could, or more. I'd live there again if I could, because it's,
Which part do you like?
I like the whole country, honestly. I like the whole country.
Have you gone to like those warm springs and stuff?
Yeah,
those are nice.
Yeah, the everything. I've done it all pretty much. And it's, I mean, it's even like when you're out traveling, right? You go to these little tiny they have the rest stops and they're pristine, They're just
Right.
pristine, and it's the people are generally very polite, very, as long as you know how to act, you know what I mean, when you're out there,
Right.
But
Right.
I mean, the roadways are well maintained. I mean, it's really, I love it there. I loved it there. I wish I could go back. I
Uh-huh.
wish, but my kids and
Yeah.
everything are here now. Besides, it's impossible to get citizenship there.
If you want to be a citizen there, you wouldn't be able to vote for Trump.
You don't want to be
Yeah.
a citizen there, sister.
I know this taxes would kill me.
Yep. Now they're like even paying what they just increased the tax. I mean, man, it was like now 15%
Yeah.
or
it's
even more. I don't know how they can handle it.
Well, I don't know anything about all that stuff.
They all live
so-
with their mom. That's why, everybody, all the young people stay with their parents now. Years and years and years, and they don't get married.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen
population
dramas.
is decreasing.
I've seen a lot of dramas where these people are living in really nice houses in Japan and Korea.
You know what? You know where I
I don't know
live?
about Japan.
Okay, you know where I lived for part of my stay there? I lived for about a year and a half, I think, in Hayama, which is like right by the Emperor's Summer Palace, right there on the beach, right? Now, here in the United States, living on the beach, that's swanky. There, you live there, it's cheap. You can, as a foreigner, you can rent there because if there's a big tsunami, well, it is what it is, right?
Oh, free fish.
Yeah. And so I lived like right there on the ocean. It was pretty cool. But my whole apartment was like less than 500 square feet. And we had, 7 people living in there. So it was 2 rooms. One was like a 4 tatami. I think one was 6 tatami and the kitchen. And that was it. So, and I paid like, what, $1,500 a month, I think, American. So yeah, get used to small and no heat, no air conditioner. Like, it's a lot different than here for sure.
And you have to take your shoes off when you go in the house. That sucks.
Heck yeah, those tatami is expensive. Tatami
That's
is
smart.
expensive. You don't want to have to replace that. That's huge money.
You got the flooring?
Yeah, the mats, the grass mat floors. That's super
made of straw.
expensive. Yeah,
Okay.
and there's no heat, no air conditioning. So in the winter you use
Used to be the cheapest.
yeah, it's no air conditioning, so you just basically cook in the summer because it's so humid. No light fixtures, so when you move into a place, you have to buy a light fixture. No, they don't have like ovens or stove, so you just buy like the little tabletop. It's like 2 burner. You use that. I mean, yeah, it's very different than here in the States for sure. But I loved every minute of it. I'd go back. I mean, I don't know, but I was also in my 20s, very early 20s. Now I'm 50. I may not be a big fan of that much humidity and heat anymore.
Well, here's the thing, like I don't know when was the last time you were there, sister? 20?
No. I just went year before last, I think I was there. This time, like, let's put it this way. A year ago, yesterday, I was touching down in Tokyo.
I see. So it's just been there recently.
Oh, yeah.
In Tokyo. I see. Have you been to
I went
Seoul?
all over. Yeah. I was there for like a week and a half.
In Seoul?
No, in Japan.
In Japan. Have you been to Seoul?
I have not. My husband's been, of course,
Okay.
been to Korea many times, but I never got to
I
go to
see.
Korea.
When you go to Seoul, you'll know why Japanese come to Korea. Less Korean going to Japan, for example. But
That's where when we go,
I mean, the reason why
we'll definitely go to Seoul.
the reason why I mean, you should. The reason why I say this is because, like Japan, their infrastructure has been quite old, and some infrastructures are just almost like coming down. If you compare Tokyo and Seoul, man, there is no comparison. So there is a reason why the trend is shifting. There's the reason why the investors are pulling out from Japan. But yeah, you should definitely go to Korea and check it out. It's more. If I were to express Japan as being nice and with their nice courtesy, yet I cannot help but notice is that it's their culture and that's how they grow up. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are kind.
That's right.
Whereas in Korea, it's more heartfelt. It's more heartful. So,
Yeah. Yeah, in
Yes.
Japan, you have to be
That's
careful.
what I prefer.
Yeah, because sometimes somebody would be very polite in Japan, but like they may hate your guts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. They are polite in front of you, you know, but their tatayama it would be like a little, polite because that's how they've learned, But inside it's totally different.
Well, that'll be secondary.
Yeah.
First. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm gonna have to head out, but this was nice. I will be doing a hangout.
Yeah, well, yeah. Have a good day.
Yeah, I think I'll do a hangout maybe with my pastor, and we'll talk about the Israel thing and see if anyone is interested in doing that. But just
That'd be cool.
It's going to be it's weird because my wife's not going. She's got to stay here because unfortunately it's during school, and my wife, being a tiger mom that she is, won't let AJ skip school, and she wants to make sure he's on top of homework and all that stuff. So that's the bummer. But it should be a good time, and if maybe we can get some people online. I can meet some people from YouTube. That would be kind of fun.
That would be awesome, actually. I think that would be very cool.
Talk about a cool way to do it with people on
neat.
YouTube who, were like in the Christian brother and sisterhood. That'd be kind of neat.
That would be.
So on that note, that will be coming soon. It's been a pleasure talking with you both. And I'll say I really like, yeah, you too. The World Series is on, and I'm a baseball guy, and I'm not even watching the World Series. I'm going home to watch the World Series. My son's saying, "Where are you?" And I'm coming. All right. Chat with you guys.
Right.
Think
Talk
about
to you
it.
later.
It's the late. I think it's
All
the
right.
last week of April. Talk to you later. See you, Sam.
Ciao. All right.
Ciao.
God bless you.
You too.